So here I am on the outskirts, on the upper hills of Guanajuato. It's the Monday 21st of July 2014. So how do I feel after ceremony 3, which was on Saturday? Well, yesterday I was extremely tired, just as I was after ceremony 2. I thought initially that was because I'd done 2 ceremonies in a row. But actually, I think I would probably have been that tired after ceremony 1, and you know, obviously doing 2 in a row doesn't make it easier. But anyway, on Sunday, yesterday, I was extremely tired. The sort of tiredness that is not normal. You know, I've experienced it only once before, and that was after my first ceremonies, and this time it was the same. It's like a very deep mental fatigue, something in your head, and you have no energy. And you know, partly it's due to the fact that you haven't eaten for so long, and you've been throwing up and having diarrhea or whatever, and yeah, so I was just completely energyless. I felt like sleeping all day long. I got a 40-minute nap yesterday, just really wasn't enough. Today I feel a lot better. I've been eating a lot more, but I'm still pretty tired, and I can feel that it's preventing me from being clear-minded. I feel like I need a few days to rest this off and to start knowing what the hell's going on. But one thing is clear, and this is really important. I learned 2 other lessons that I don't mention in the video that I did there in the dark just after the ceremony, and that is that, again, you know, I've been taking things for granted, and I do that, and it's so stupid. I went to this ceremony thinking, you know, I've done this before. I've done it twice now. I got there, I realized a lot of people hadn't done it before. I thought, you know, this is going to be a piece of cake. I know how this works. I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I realized how freaking hard it was to actually want the medicine, to actually want to ingest that thing. The first time it took me 10 minutes to drink a shot this big. And the second time, if I remember correctly, it took me about an hour. I really struggled. And I realized I wasn't going to get this medicine unless I really wanted it. And I had to put a lot of effort into getting it. It wasn't something that was just going to be given to me that easily. So that was the first thing. Is like I arrived there, you know, expecting things to be effortless, and they were really not. And the second thing is that I realized that same effort now has to be done after the ceremony, and things have to be put in practice in real life, and that effort is going to be at least as strong as drinking that thing. And so what are those things that I need to implement? Well, I think what really comes out are the things that I mentioned in that video. The ones that come to mind right now are that, I need to call up my dad and tell him, look, you know, I love you anyway. You know, you've been an arsehole. You know, I don't want you to say anything right now because you're just going to say more obnoxious stuff. But you know what? I love you anyway, and you can do what you want with it. You've got to. If I need to forgive you for anything, then I forgive you. You know, if you want that clean slate, it's there. I'm giving it to you. You've got a clean slate, and now you can do what you will with it. You know, if you want to start fresh and you want to not be an arsehole and not be obnoxious, you can do that now without having to feel about anything that you've done. You don't have to feel anything bad for all of the nasty shit that you've said hundreds, thousands of times over the past 25 years. Yeah. And I feel, you know, it would be a hell of a lot easier to say that to his answer phone or to his email. But I know I have to say it to him. You know, I actually have to say it to him. And I'm actually thinking maybe I should go to his place. He lives in north of England, which is quite far from here in Mexico. Maybe I should just go up there. You know, he's always asking, you know, why don't you come over? Well, I don't come over because you're an obnoxious sod. And he's always asking me, so, you know, why don't you come? And so, you know, over 10 years ago, I think back in when Diana died, I was over there and I swore to myself I would never go back because he was such a freaking arsehole, such an obnoxious cunt. That's what he does best. You got to love somebody like that, right? And I swore to myself I would never go back, but I have been back there since. I went back a few years ago, 6-7 years ago now, and I should probably just go back. And I know he's going to be obnoxious. I know he's going to be looking for trouble, provoking, trying to cause conflict. But just as last time I went, my brother was there with me, and my brother was getting really angry with him for being such a cunt. And me, I was just laughing, and that was possible because my brother was there and I didn't have to take all the pressure, you know. I was just laughing because I thought he was, you know, he was being a bit ridiculous, and I had myself quite a good laugh. Even though he's an unbearable cunt, I still had myself a good laugh. And what I'd like to do now is, since I don't get angry so much anymore, when I do, it goes away quickly. I'd like to see how it goes and see how I can manage it this time. Go there, preferably with my brother. I'd like to see him and, you know, get the chance to spend some time with him. Actually, I'd like to go on holiday with him and, you know, just catch up a bit. And I would like to say to him when he's been a cunt, you know, yeah, you know, that's all right. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. As I said, I love you anyway. You know, you want to continue like that, that's fine. You know, I'm just going to be here and I'm not going to be affected by it. So you can, you know, you're not going to manage to make me angry. So you can just relax and we can be nice and talk to each other and actually try and be something of a family and have some form of communication. Or you can continue to be a cunt. That's fine. It's up to you. If you want to be a cunt and you want to be obnoxious, then fine. You know, be that if that's what you want to do. How am I going to stop you? You know, the only thing I can do, and I refuse to do really, is to not get angry and not let it affect me, because really, I've got nothing to do with that. Those, you know, those feelings are completely independent from me, really. Yeah. And so yeah, I'm considering doing that, and I don't know. Maybe I will try and do that this summer. I'm due to go to Europe. Maybe I'll do that. You know, in August. I'll see. It'll be interesting. I'm not sure I want to go alone. Maybe I'm a bit of a pussy there. I would prefer to go with my brother. If he wants to come, that would be cool, I think. Yeah. And the other things, yeah. And this is where it really gets freaking fucking hard. You know, you can hear it in my voice. It's grabbing me here, the emotion and stuff. Is I've got to say I love you to my brother. I don't say it enough, you know. Because if I say it on the phone, I'm just going to start crying. So I can put it in an email, and even that's freaking hard. But saying it, it's the same thing with my mum, you know. She deserves to hear that. You know, she's not been perfect. In a way she has, you know. In a way she has been perfect. She did, in a way she did what she could, you know. And if I'm to help her in any way, first I have to help myself. But it's not going to be through any bad feelings around that, you know. You know, she's got a lot of mess in her house, and I'm not going to help her by being negative about it. You know, that's not going to help. What she needs really is a fresh start. She needs a new slate, you know. She needs a new slate. She needs to be able to forgive herself, to know that if it can help, for what it's worth, you're forgiven for what you've done, you know. And I know all this sounds really Judeo-Christian and whatever, you know. I might not have said this before. I don't know. I'm not, you know, I consider myself pretty much an atheist. I'm not, you know, I'm not. I'm certainly not Christian or Catholic or anything like that. I don't consider myself to be particularly religious at all. I think, you know, I guess I'm behaving in a rather spiritual way now, whatever the hell that means. Or I'm discovering, you know, I'm on the edges of spirituality maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to get there. But I really don't think that that means that you're religious, you know. Actually, I think, as a quick tangent here, I believe that, well, I try not to believe in anything, it seems that quantum physics kind of confirms some of the things that people experience in ayahuasca. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point on the other side of the universe, science and spirituality actually join up and realize that they're, you know, that if you want the truth, you're going to have to get a fusion of both, and that there is really no difference. But understanding everything through science, I'm not sure is possible for our minds. You know, if you've got a mind stuck in a body and stuck with senses, I'm not sure that those limitations will enable you to actually understand what the hell is going on with ayahuasca and stuff like that. I'm really not sure about that. I think you kind of need that, I don't know if, I was going to say an out-of-body experience, but ayahuasca generally isn't that at all. You remain conscious and everything of your body and the surroundings. You can get up and walk, and, you know, at least most of the time. And yeah, anyway, I don't think we can understand certain things. I'm not sure that we can anyway. But I certainly don't think that, well, what I think is that if science goes far enough, it is actually going to prove some of these spiritual things to be completely true, and not just, you know, some mumbo jumbo and ramblings of some hippies on drugs or whatever people want to think of it as. Anyway, so yeah, so I've got to implement these things, these lessons, otherwise it's pointless. It's absolutely useless if I don't implement what I've learned, you know. And I experienced feelings of love, even for a flower, you know, and in that experience, and it was great. But, you know, now I'm back here in my daily life, and if I don't implement these things, then what's the point? You know, I don't want to go back every month and feel that I haven't progressed. And the only way I can progress is by being honest. And that's by saying, right, I know what I've got to do here. And I do. I know I've got to forgive people. I know I've got to stop judging them. I know I've got to tell them I love them no matter what. You know, it's a matter of finding that unconditional love and providing it to others. You've got to provide it to yourself. Hopefully that's where ayahuasca helps a little bit. But you're going to have to provide it to others. Otherwise, you know, you haven't really progressed much. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just learning here. Just rambling on as ever. And so, yeah, I need to show more to the people who are around me, and that's really important. My partner, whom I probably love a lot more than I realize. She's a great person, and, you know, she's got a rather negative or hostile attitude towards ayahuasca, but I think it's related to other things. I don't think it's got really anything to do with ayahuasca. I think it's more to do with the fact that, well, basically I haven't been making her happy enough, or happy at all, in our relationship, at least for a very long time. And I think those are the things that cause her hostility to these things, that where, you know, instead of dealing with the people who care for me, who are around me, you know, that's her, basically, then, you know, I'm off doing other things, you know. For her, I'm not trying to solve my problems in reality. I don't see it quite like that. I see it as a means of increasing or expanding my awareness of how I am, of the things that matter, and then trying to bring them into this reality. Now, what I've learned here at least is that it's not going to be easy. It is not a magic bullet. I've said this before. It's not a magic bullet. At least it hasn't been for me. Maybe because I got too many issues to work on. I don't know. But anyway, I need to do a lot of things, and it's going to take some real, true life effort, 3D effort in this, 4D effort actually in this reality. I'm gonna have to overcome a lot of fear of my own emotion. I'm gonna have to be a lot more honest with myself and stop hiding from who I really am, what I really feel. And to illustrate that, I got a bit of a shock yesterday. You know, I had an argument with my partner, and I came into the lounge where she had been a few minutes before, and her daughter was there crying, and she just seemed really distressed, and and I said, what's up, what's going on? And she says, it's my mother, and I was like, I started shaking. I went into a panic. I just immediately started shaking. I didn't realize right away because I was too busy thinking, okay, and where is she? And she was in the bathroom. I thought, okay, maybe, something's happened to her. I thought maybe, I was immediately thinking, okay, maybe she's unconscious or something happened to her. She's on the floor, she's hurt, she's, I imagined the worst. And I started shaking, and that doesn't leave any room for any denial bullshit, It's, that if that person goes, you're gonna feel pretty fucking awful, right? So why is it that I'm not showing that person what I really feel, Because I'm not showing myself. I'm not accepting to see that, Much as when you see something beautiful, you need to accept to see that something beautiful, You need to accept it. If you don't accept beauty, whether it's inside you, around you, whatever, then it just isn't there, The world is a reflection of you. And I know it sounds all cheesy and hippie and like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, but the fact is, it's starting to look increasingly certain to me that, our perception really, really is our reality. And I don't see what else it could be, actually, I think that makes actually quite a lot of sense if you think about it. Your reality is what you project and is your perception. There is really no difference between the two. It's simply not possible that there could be a difference between your perception and your reality. And again, quantum physics seems to demonstrate that by getting different results for the same experience based on having different observers and seeing that two things can be at two different places at the same time, which means that your reality and mine, they're different. It doesn't mean that they have nothing in common, but they have enough in common to be really, really different. Whatever it is, you look at the glass, I see it half full, you see it half empty, or whatever it is, we live in a different reality, each one of us, each and every one of us, even though we think we're in the same, we're not. So, yeah, I think I've been rambling on long enough. Right, so I leave you with a view of the hills and the city of Guanajuato.